Yo, 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 what is going on, IK Familia? It is your boy, BN, Mr. Kingdom Builder. We are back again for another Dope Sauce Infinity Kingdom video. Pretty excited, as always. Today we're going to be talking about Qin Emperor and looking at his most used Tower of Knowledge support skills. Before we get started and dive into our lovely stat gathering, because we actually have a little bit more today for Qin Emperor than some of the previous Wind Immortals, make sure you guys sub to the channel, smash that thumbs up button for some likes, and then of course ring that notification bell so you guys can get updates when we have new content coming out. Okay, here we go. Qin Emperor, thankfully out of the 5 epic Wind Immortals that we pulled data from, or for, he thus far has the most amount of people that have been using him at 33 we have here. So it's nice to see a little bit more data closer to the 45 average pulls that we do for the majority of our immortals. Wind has been a little up in the air just because they seem to be, or at least this element seems to be the lowest ran and used out of the 5 primary ones, albeit Shadow and Holy. Now let's go ahead and we're going to get into our top 5 most used ToK skills here for Qin Emperor, starting with number 5. Malice is used 7 times for him. And keep in mind as well, right, the data that we collect is from a minimum 160k troop power with primary marches, meaning that 3 or more immortals are being used in the march, if not always, if not almost always, 4 immortals for that element type. The 4th most used skill for Qin Emperor, Assist, tied with Malice, so kind of a, I guess, a T4, type 4. And then we have the 3rd most used skill for Qin Emperor is Resist at number 8. The 2nd most used skill is Energy Suppression, used 10 times, and I say number 7, number 8, but that's just the amount of times they're used. And then finally, the number 1 most used ToK skill for Qin Emperor's Death Breath. Awesome, awesome. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at Qin Emperor and see what he is shaken with. All right, so his primary skill is Dragon Power. Inflicts wound on all enemy units, preventing them from being healed. So similar to a Genghis Khan type. Increases attack speed of all units by 15% up to 25%. Also grants cleave to all Wind Immortals, so their normal attacks deal 30% extra damage to nearby enemy targets. This lasts 8 seconds. Now, again, when I read this, I think to myself, this is a pretty OP immortal, and as far as just using him in the in the element composition, right? And it almost makes me wonder. I mean, again, you know, after being pretty familiar with a lot of the immortal skills used here, I don't know. Even though I see that Wind is a little underutilized based on how many people are running it, and yes, at the same time, it's not super free to play friendly, especially with the dragon, which is understandable, and that is a big turnoff for free to play. Hopefully, once either 1.7 or 1.8 comes out, that's when they're going to start adding in and do a change where Wind Dragon shards are going to be a little bit more accessible. Maybe they'll just add in a 5th gnome boss and you'll be good to go there. But with that being said, again, I like Qin Emperor and his skill. Right, again, keep in mind with the additional damage at 15 to 50%, and then 50, right, again, right, normal attacks are going to increase. And so, again, nice to see that he kind of has like this 2-step, if not a 3-step, to his skill. Now let's look at where his stats lie. So a little bit more on the magic intelligence side, right? See, magical attack a little bit stronger. Magic defense pretty high up there as well, close to the physical attack. So being a little bit more magic attack, but honestly, you can almost consider him a hybrid. We'll have to see how he scales going up to level 40 and once he gets max start and max boosted to see if those hold up or if the scaling changes. Okay, with that being said, let's go look at the top 3 ToK skills, starting with Resist. Okay. And Resist, I have to remember, I think it's this one with the curvy bananas. Okay. During battle, 3 of your random allied troops will receive negative 15% up to negative 50% magical damage for 18 seconds. Again, this is what I would consider to be just a good universal skill, right? You would run this on any immortal in your lineup that is not using a skill-specific buff or advantage that plays to that immortal strengths. Now let's look at energy suppression, which is number 2, and I think this is the one with the downward lines. Again, slows the energy regen speed of all enemy troops by 15% up to 50% for the first 12 seconds of battle. This is just another good quality universal skill that you would use, right? It's not specific to any one person, but it is just a good all-around skill. Then we have Death Breath, which is the skull up here. Every 6 seconds causes physical damage to all enemy units and magical damage once. So again, you got damage rate, right? Every 6 seconds causes physical damage. And again, that's going to be at 22.5 up to 75% to all enemy units and magical damage once. Again, at the same rate. So this is just another example of a good universal skill. It's not specific to anyone. As far as to Qin Emperor. And maybe eventually what we'll do is we might even do a ToK series where we say, hey, here's like the recommended skills we think you could run for this element. Maybe we'll, or for this immortal, then maybe we'll even do it for like our personal one, like how we would recommend you setting up like an entire element composition as well. I know that's something some people have been asking for. But those are your top 3 skills: resist, energy suppression, death breath, right? All 3 kind of universal skills that we see being ran on Qin Emperor, right? Nothing really too specific for his current skill set. But that's what we got so far. Would love to know what you guys think. Again, do you like kind of running universal skill sets on Immortals when you might not be able to find a specific type of skill that may support their skill set or their active skill in a more advantageous way? Have you experienced or have you even ran other skills that you like on Qin Emperor? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And girls, as always, because we're gender neutral. That is it for us. We are out. Until next time, we will catch y'all later.